All right, prepare yourself, guys. We're going to start with, we just went on a date night, and we had it was a date night. We saw a movie
with Natalie.
Yeah, it was great. We saw a movie with Natalie, and don't interrupt me. I'm doing the cold open, baby. It's me and the guys now. God, dang, I'm sorry about that, guys. So we saw No Hard Feelings. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to also talk a little bit about the ethics of parents who try to get their kids laid here on the Rundown After Dark. We're going to talk about that and some other things. So welcome back, guys, to another episode of The Rundown. I didn't have the music ready, so maybe I should try that. Let's see if this works. Let's make this more professional. Let's get more professional. Sorry about that. I don't even know if you guys can hear the music. Tell me in the chat if you can hear that. I don't think it's playing properly. No, we can just start over again.
Do you guys hear the music?
Can you guys hear the music?
Because earlier today, my mic was not even on.
And nobody said anything. So we'll just power through. Guys, prepare yourself, guys, for another episode of The Rundown After Dark. I only had one sip and I'm already effing up. So I appreciate you guys for joining. We just saw the movie, and that's why we started so late. So I appreciate you guys for bearing with me messing up the schedule as I always do sometimes. No, Miss Les Business is not here tonight. She was supposed to be, but adulting got in the way. You know, she reminds me every day, I'm a business owner. I'm like, yeah, I own a business too. I mean, I don't have a building, I don't have employees, but I bought the LLC, so it's kind of the same thing. Not really. No, she has way more responsibility. So no, Tabatha won't be here today. But as always, Mrs. Fagan is in the building, right next to the Rundown.
All day, every day.
All day, every day, keeping the lights on for
they
us.
couldn't hear the music.
What? Did not work.
But Nixon was glad because it's always hella loud.
I turned it down.
No, you just turned it off.
I did. I turned it down this time. It's like it's way too loud. I did. I turned it down. Let's see what's going on with the. Why isn't the music working? I don't know. I don't get it. Well, I guess we don't really need it. Don't really do, or do we? Well, if the music isn't working, that means nothing will work. I can't do my soundboard. There it is. Was that too loud? All right, I'll turn it down. There you go. Okay, I turned it down to a certain level. Is that better? There. Let me know if that worked out for you better. Let me know. Because if we get Zoom in, we were gonna try to Zoom Tabatha in, and it's not going to happen. She's not going to be able to help us out with the topics today. But Peter Lang, I see you're in the chat. If you do want to come in, I'll send you I'll go to the, why is it the thing blanking out? If I'll go into the members only, and I'll send the Zoom link, so maybe we can get you in if you want to call in. Let me know in the chat if you still want to try again. Maybe we get the bugs fixed on that. I think the best way to do it is if whatever you're watching us, like, so for example, if you're watching the show on a laptop or your TV or something, turn that off and just only talk through the Zoom. I think that's where that delay was coming from. So let's see if we can get that fixed. If you want to come in and talk with this live, guys. Remember, if you become a member, you can join us live via chat or via video for our members only. But if you want to just call in, I still don't have the number memorized. It's 281. I think it's 406-1993. It's in the description below, so you can leave a voicemail, and we'll talk about whatever topics you want to talk about. All right, let's get all that stuff out of the way. Join the podcast if you guys are listening to the podcast after this. Thank you for joining the podcast. Write a review. Say this sucks. Give it 1 star. Don't do that. Give it 5 stars. And as long as everybody that's here can speak directly into the mic, and tell my wife if her mic is not working, like y'all didn't do last time. Jesus.
And I spoke so well earlier.
Yeah, she was enunciating. I am sweating. When I jogged back up here, I activated my sweat glands. She was enunciating everything. I'm always getting on that. She always talks just like this. And everybody. But early this morning, she was all like, and another thing about the Flash. And I had her mic turned way down. I was
like, well, we'll let everybody know.
And nobody
we
told us.
don't want to know about it.
Yeah,
we don't want to hear that.
So let's test it out one more time. Test it out real quick. You do your mic test.
Testing.
Is it?
Testing.
Okay, there it is. I think you're good. All right. Let's just go right into it. I don't know. Did I print out the show notes?
If you did, you didn't bring it to me. Those are old.
Those are the old ones?
Yeah, that's from earlier.
You sure?
I'm looking at it.
I am effing up, man. This stuff is kicking in, I guess. I only had one sip. So we don't have the show notes.
Just winging it.
I mean, everything's all backwards. Okay. All right, let me get the show back on track here.
Hopes and dreams. Just running on hopes and dreams.
No, we're not. I can fix it. Doc. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Show notes. There. And for you guys listening to it on the podcast, I'm pulling up show notes. I have it. I will navigate today.
Or put it over there where I can see it.
Okay. Well, you can't read it from there.
I can see it over there.
All right.
My eyes are good with the glasses on.
First on the current, we're going to start off with, let's talk a little bit about the U.S. Navy. They detected what was it called? It's not called a submarine.
Submersible.
A submersible. They found the submersible.
Well,
so I found an article.
They found parts.
Yeah. So
the debris field.
I found the article that said the Titan submersible experienced a catastrophic implosion when it submerged to view the Titanic wreckage. And what did they say? You said you looked into it a little bit. It just, I guess it imploded, it crushed, or?
Well, because they found a couple of large pieces, they felt very certain that it would not exist anymore. To have found those pieces, it couldn't be intact anymore.
Yeah, it's just not intact. So I was saying...
there would not be bodies to be found because it's basically this... You just evaporate into nothingness.
Well, not nothingness, but I mean...
Pink mist.
Really?
Yes. The implosion would... Yes, you just...
Jeez. And so that's why somebody was saying that it would be instantaneous and there would be no suffering or anything like that. So they claim. I assumed on day one when that story dropped, I thought they were overestimating. I felt like they were like, well, they had like 3 days or whatever, 90 hours of oxygen or something like. But I was like, yeah, but are you factoring in if they are alive? Are they panicking? Are they arguing? Are they fighting each other? Or is it are you factoring all those things in? Are they hyperventilating? I mean, I thought that it was. I'm like, dude, there's no way in the world that any of those guys would be cool, calm, and collective. They're in there like sardines. The guy that's driving is sitting Indian style, pretty much driving backwards with two monitors. And at first, I was going to talk about how Cardi B got on, and she was like making a scene about how the stepson of the billionaire was acting like he didn't care. His stepdad went missing. He went to Blink 182 concerts and stuff, and Cardi B called him out. But then I was going to make the focus about that, but then they seem to have found the wreckage, and it's just, I was like, you know what, I don't even want to talk about that. But any other things that you picked up on from that conversation? You said that you were seeing in the chats what people were saying, or was that about the other topic?
Well, I mean, I saw several creators that made some TikToks that I totally get their point of view, because so many people were poking fun and making jokes and making memes, and and you had your others that were like, well, that's rude. These are lives. Why is everybody being so insensitive and not showing empathy if you don't even care about people's lives? But then I was like, I get that. However, I saw some other creators make a point that was like, it's not that we don't have empathy. It's that these guys are billionaires.
Not that their lives don't matter because they're billionaires.
No, not that their lives don't matter. It's just
like people get hit by buses and stuff every day.
When you are poor and are a person of color, people don't come running for you as easily as the entire world was peering in on saving these billionaires.
Yeah.
And so people were like, yeah, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And as a lot of people pointed out, these guys were very well aware of the risk and the dangers involved in this. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I mean, it's...
And I don't mean that in a mean way. You knew very well that you could very, very easily die.
They said in the waiver that death was mentioned at least 3 times. That death was... I mean, it was fucking... It's crazy, though.
I mean, I showed you the article of the former showrunner from The Simpsons, who said he went on 4 of these. And
he said they lost connection.
4 missions he went on with OceanGate. One of those missions was to the Titanic. So he's already been to see the Titanic on this, and was like, all 4 times they lost communication. All 4 times were sketchy, and he still did it anyways. Again, confirming that you might die was all over the place. I mean, and he was like, and when they popped back up, when they came back to the surface, there's no GPS, and it still took them 3 hours to find them, and they were, bobbing. They're now on the surface. So he's like,
that's I just could never. A lot of people were thinking, if this would have been anything other than rich people and whatnot, that they would have just probably thrown up an Amber Alert.
Like Nixon said, I mean, you've got 500 refugees capsized, and where are all the people trying to rescue them? Nowhere.
Right. So
that's why a lot of people. It's not about not having empathy or feeling sad for people. It's that after a while, they look at that and go, really? Of course everyone's running to their rescue. Of course they are. Because
they got money. Because they got friends in high places. And I mean, like I said, and if it was regular people, it just would have put up an Amber Alert, and as it would have been, and they would have just kept it moving. All right, I got Zoom up. So
Peter has he has got work in a little bit, so he cannot. Zoom.
Oh, okay. I'll turn it back off. And
he said maybe next time, but he can't tonight.
I know, because Tabitha's not here. He's like, nah. But let us know what you guys think about that whole thing with. I just knew that it wasn't going to end. I remember somebody was just keeping it real. I don't know if it was CNN or Fox or if it was MSNBC. They asked us to do straight up. It was like, after hearing what we've heard, and you're the expert with these kind of things, do you think there's a chance that they're still alive? And the guy was like, nope. He's flat out. He didn't even get, and the anchor was like, I needed a longer answer than that. Like, dude, you could have dragged it out. He was like, no, they dead. They dead. They gone. There's no damn way. I was like, damn, this dude's keeping it real. I was like, I assumed they probably suffocated or the picture that the guy that answered nope. He painted a picture that maybe they crashed into the boat, onto the Titanic, maybe and hit something that was crucial, and it caused the chain reaction for the implosion.
Even just listening to a lot of the videos of the guy who created this
duct
company
tape.
and the
put
team.
this together with duct tape.
Well, just listening to him talk,
yeah.
You were just kind of like, and y'all were like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Because he was just very all over the place. Well, they said you can't mix this and this, and I was like, yeah, you can if you want to.
Yeah.
And I just did.
He's like, watch me.
Like, okay, like that.
I mean, then. You pretty much made $1 million every trip. If you got $100,000 per person, and you got 4 people in there each time, you pretty much made $1 million a trip. You couldn't take half of that. I just kept upgrading the vessel and getting it up to code and things like that. No, people just cut corners. It worked last time. It should work this time.
The amount of money that these men had, that $250,000 was kind of the equivalent of $20 to them. It really was.
Yeah, but that $20
nothing.
could have been the thing that could have got that thing up to code and saved some lives.
Well,
but at the same time, you know what? A freak thing could have happened, and that could have been the most sturdiest submariner in the world. But submariner was it?
I think it comes down to things like the movie, like a movie. I don't remember the name of the movie. I didn't even watch it.
Hunt for Red October.
No, it's a movie where like rich people pay money to hunt
The Purge.
Hunt people in like a field like animals.
The Hunt. That
what
movie that recently came out. Yeah.
So that's
A bunch of liberals were hunting a bunch of conservatives.
No,
That's what that was about.
Like when the pandemic, when all this stuff was going down and people didn't have money, and you guys have all this expendable money to throw to simply just, it wasn't like you were doing research.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take a trip.
Right.
I just want to take a
Just wanna
trip to
feel
the bottom
alive.
of the ocean to say,
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
But you can't do good for the world with any of that? No.
They said that one of the people that died is spouse is related to people who actually died in the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's eerie and crazy stuff, man. But I don't know. Let us know. We're going to be monitoring the chat. Oh man, I forgot. Did I turn the chat? Yeah, I did. I got it. We got the chats up. Let us know what you guys think about that. Let's move on. What's next on the current? Oh well, Chris, I'll tell you what's next on the current. If I now I guess I should have had you keep an eye on the thing. What's her name? Bebe, is it Rexha?
Bebe Rexha.
That's her name. Was hit in the fucking face by a cell phone doing her concert. Did you see about that?
I saw the video.
What'd you think about it? Did you bust out laughing?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Initially, when I saw the first video
She was like,
of somebody's bird's eye view, I thought, well, that seems awfully traumatic. It was one of those, like, you saw the fall and it seemed very like, wow, that was overdone. But then I saw her video where she's got stitches in a black eye, and I was like, wow.
I got that part. I got it up there.
She got hit.
Nicholas Malvagna was charged with multiple assault charges for assault.
I was like, what was your
harassment?
What was your point?
He said I thought it'd be funny. Just did it just to be funny.
I guess it'll be funny while you sit in jail then.
I mean, he's probably paid bail. He'll get convicted. He's definitely gonna see some time. But he just being an ass, just thought it'd be funny. And like and somebody was making jokes in the comment section was talking about you should have used you literally used the throwaway phone like a burn. All the stupid jokes. So I went into Twitter and I was trying to see what people were saying if I can pull it up. That's the movie we just saw. What's her name again? Bebe. I don't think I wouldn't recognize a song that she played, but getting hit.
That's The View.
Yeah. But what people are saying in the chats is crazy. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys full screen.
I mean, there's been some of that stuff is just extra rude.
Some of it's a little clever.
No, some like that first one right there is extra rude.
Oh, what does it say? She should get hit by a oh yeah. There were people just focusing on her looks because she bent over bottom facing the camera that was showing it. Yeah, and there's people like forget the fact that she almost got hit directly into the eye by the corner of a metal phone case. They're like, oh no, she's so fat. Yeah, she should. Yeah, all the comments was just out of pocket. Dude, why are other women always women's biggest haters? This is Matthew Renee calling that person out. This comment is foul and only makes what you stand for more easy to dismantle for people. Yeah, I agree with that. There's always the movement about believe on women and women supporting women, and then you'll get a woman will be the first one to say the most craziest stuff. That's all you need. Look, let's see what has this to do with anything. Yeah, and people just calling her out. But the dude, he said he just did it because he thought it would be funny. The man who threw the phone at Bebe Rexha admitted he purposely was trying to hit her because he thought it would be funny. He has since been charged with 2 counts of assault, 1 count of harassment, 1 count of aggressive harassment, and 1 count of attempted assault, according to the Rolling Stone. Yep. She should message back at him. I bet when you're in prison and those guys are doing that thing to you when you drop the soap, I'm gonna think that's funny or something like that. That'd be funny if she. But nah, she's gonna take the high ground. She took it like a champ. I heard I saw one comment where a dude was like, come on, that didn't hurt. And hurt. Rub some dirt on it, Brock. Trying to tell her just walk it off like it ain't nothing. But no, man, I would have went down too. But I don't know if she continued the show or not. Did she cancel that concert?
I didn't see. I just saw the one little clip.
Poor, what does it say? Poor girl.
I'm sure she had to stop. She had to go get.
Sure, she had to. Yeah, she had to go. Maybe they might have ended the whole concert. Some artists, some rockers would have just kept bleeding the whole thing because it looked cool or some shit like that. What if it was a freak accident? Seems like they were all kind. Seems like they were all kind recording.
If you were dancing around and it fell, it would fall to the ground, not fling out across the thing.
Like he was trying to pass it to the other guy across the way or something like that, and just accidentally hit the. Statement. Yeah, that was dumb as hell. There's always somebody trying to play lawyer. Me throwing a water bottle at Chingy when I was 11. What? He stopped the whole concert for a water bottle. Oh, my God.
I threw a baseball at my dad.
What? You threw a baseball at
when I don't remember what age I was.
Oh, no, not Bush.
My dad.
Not Bush. I remember that.
He was trying to teach me how to play baseball. And I was young, very young. And he did not specify. He said, to get somebody out, you have to touch them with the ball. That's how you get
right
them out. So when he was running the base, I threw it.
Threw it.
And I was like,
gotcha.
You didn't say I had to have it in my hand at the time.
So you were just like, gotcha. No wonder he's so grumpy. That's messed up. All right, guys, let us know what you guys think about the BB thing. I mean, at least she took it like a champ. She gave a thumbs up. She said she seems like she's all right. We'll move on to the next topic. This is what I want to get to. So there was some new. I didn't know if I was going to continue making this a topic or not. Jonathan Majors. There was his lawyer is always trying to come off like she has some breaking news, some new development in his case. He was at the courthouse with Megan Good, showing that his life is still all good, I guess. And the lawyer said that she had new evidence that would, without a shadow of a doubt, clear Jonathan Majors' name. So this was it. Just one day after Marvel's star Jonathan Majors appeared in court to get the August 3rd trial date for his assault case, new evidence appears to suggest a different version of the event than previously believed. Majors' lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, has reportedly submitted eyewitness interviews, phone recordings, credit card statements, and hours of surveillance and police body cam video that all prove her client innocent, as told to Insider. Her hope is that the misdemeanor assault charge gets dropped now that they have this evidence, but if not, she and the Ant-Man star are prepared to go to trial. So the evidence breakdown, eyewitness testimony, it goes according like this. According to Chaudhry's evidence, there are multiple witnesses who can attest that Majors never assaulted his now ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, including. Were you curious that maybe it was like she caught him like talking to Megan Good, and maybe that's where the argument started from or something like that? You didn't think that was I always thought that was the situation. Like, is that who I think it is? Like, yep. The driver of the car but this was old news. This is what we already knew. The driver of the car that took Majors and Jabari from a Brooklyn bar the night of the alleged assault. He's already to testify that he's never saw or heard Majors raise a hand or voice. Majors tried to get away from her. She pulled on and ripped his coat. A small group of women who recognized the Creed 3 star, I like the way they jumped from one movie to the other, during the altercation, hugged him and took a selfie with him in the midst of it. The bartender at Lucy's nightclub at the Moxie Hotel in Manhattan, who remembered Jabari's British accent and would testify that Jabari was having a great time and that he recalled no bleeding ear or bruised finger. He previously reported by The Root. Jabari, and who we now know to be we now know to be three of the people who witnessed the altercation between she and Majors that night all went to Lucy's later that evening. And in different security camera footage, she can be seen using her alleged injuries and that hand that she claimed was her. Now this is all the stuff that was already released. I've heard these things. Okay, the building handyman of their shared triplex penthouse, who accompanied Majors when he arrived hours later to help unlock and walk the walk-in closet doorway. Jabari was allegedly found half naked and passed out on the floor. An unidentified witness who was on the phone with Majors as he came back to his penthouse after spending the night at the hotel and found Jabari in his closet. Credit card statements per Chargers evidence, Jabari charged rounds of shots and 800 bottles of champagne to Major's card while at Lucy's. After seeing a breakup text from the magazine Dreams Star, she also allegedly charged a taxi ride back to their shared triplex penthouse, where she arrived at 3:32 a.m. according to the surveillance footage. Insiders also noted that after Major sent the text, he allegedly turned his phone off. In response to it, Jabari allegedly called Majors 32 times and sent several texts accusing him of infidelity. I know you out there with Megan Good. Surveillance footage according to, that's new. According to Chaudhry, footage from the street corner where Majors allegedly got out of the car during the altercations, footage from Lucy's nightclub, footage from their shared penthouse elevator footage all show that Jabari was allegedly the aggressor who didn't show any signs of any injuries to her hand, her ear before heading back to their penthouse. She argued that Jabari's instead took a fall while alone in Major's penthouse apartment after drinking. Now, but did they get that on video? So you said she had a fall in the penthouse. Now, if you don't got that on video, then I don't know. So now it goes on. So she seems to have. I'll read a little bit of this police body cam footage. Police body cam footage, NYPD body cam video turned over to Chaudhry, if I'm saying that right, by prosecution, shows a disoriented seeming Jabari telling cops and paramedics that she had drank to the point of throwing up in the bed and had taken several sleeping pill tablets. The defense lawyer said in the letter, Jabari had. So it's basically just going after her character. She
told the police 19 times, "I don't know what happened."
But that was what I heard in the beginning. This isn't new info. I think she released this publicly, and now is trying to use it as the evidence in the court. But she's already made these same statements, and the prosecution, knowing this, still felt like they had enough to keep moving forward despite this. Most of this is the same stuff that his defense lawyer already released. So why is it, if this is the breaking news of the case, breaking the case, why is it still moving forward? Because and people are saying that that's why he was dropped by his management team, because the prosecution might have more, or at the very least they've seen all this and they still feel like there's enough to keep it going. I don't know. I read that and I was like, to me it feels like it's not gonna be a conviction. But the question is this still going to drag so long that Marvel or anybody that it's just going to, affect his career, even if he's not found guilty of anything. So I don't know. I felt like this was going to be new, but most of this was what I've already heard that his lawyer released. So none of this is really new evidence. Maybe we're here. Some of us are hearing it for the first time. As alleged in April the 8th letter of Manhattan Criminal Court, Judge Rachel S. Pauley, Chaudhry, maintained that Jabari had no injuries to her right hand or ear, and she previously claimed at a point. Yeah, this is the same information. This was all released before. So I don't see. I still worry about whether or not the prosecution might have something, whatever it is that spooked his management team to be like, yeah, we got to get away from this. So it feels like something is about to come out when they go straight to trial. I don't know. So I feel like that's about to get real messy. Hopefully it'll turn out that he didn't do anything, or that this evidence is factual. But I thought this would have been over by now. But I don't know. We'll see. All right. Yeah, there was no breaking news there. I was thinking I was going to read something brand new for the first time. Let's get into retro reactions, guys. Okay. This is going to become now one of my favorite parts of the show. So I put up a post. I said, "What are your guys' favorite movie scenes and things like that?" Just send me something. So I got a couple in, and I was gonna make a graphic, but I didn't have time. I had to go out to date night. She doesn't call it. She doesn't consider it date night. So one of you guys, man, maybe I can put it up. I'll show you my show notes. There you go. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's pull it up. Adam's Family Values. This was what one of you guys said. So while that's, let me block that sound. No commercials here. Adam's Family Values. When Gomez goes into the police station to report his brother has been kidnapped. It's just one of the 10 out of 10 scenes that came in from Alexis Naranjo? Okay.
Naranjo.
Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. That came in from Alex Naranjo. And let's play it. Let's see if I can get it real quick. I don't know. Is the volume over there too low?
I demand justice. Someone has married my brother.
No.
She took him to Hawaii.
Get out of here.
They have moved into a large, expensive home where they make
try
love.
this again. It was. You see volume up?
I demand justice. Someone has married my brother.
No.
She took him to Hawaii.
Get out of here.
They have moved into a large, expensive home where they make love constantly.
I hate when that happens.
Arrest her at once without delay.
Who?
Debbie, my brother's wife, the temptress of Waikiki.
Who are you? What are you? Who moved the rock?
Officer, you must issue a subpoena. I believe they own
Gomez, no.
a Buick.
Just leave. Leave quietly. Leave now. Don't make me call Ringling Brothers.
Has the planet gone mad?
I remember that. Because it's all weird for him. But you come into the police station. My wife is having sex every night with this.
Drives a Buick.
She drives a Buick. I mean, all this stuff was just weird for the Adams and whatnot. But yeah, it took me. I forgot about that scene.
Temptress of Waikiki.
No, temptress of what, man? And he's passed away too, hasn't he? He's that actor.
Raul Julia.
Yeah. I think he's passed. Am I wrong about that, guys?
I think no idea, babe.
I think he's since
My
passed.
brother, passion's
he's bad.
hostage. I seek justice. Denied. I shall not submit. I shall conquer. I shall rise. My name is Gomez Adams, and I have seen evil. I have seen horror. I have seen the unholy maggots which feast in the dark recesses of the human soul.
They're at camp.
I have seen all this, officer, but until today, I had never seen you.
Buck 'em, cook 'em. Now!
Yeah, and they went to jail, right? Yeah. Okay,
demand-
I haven't watched that movie in a long time. I think he's since passed. I think he passed away along because I remember he also played M. Bison in Street Fighter. I'm not wrong about that. It's been a while, but he's been passed away. And that was suggested in from. And guys, like I said, if you have for retro reaction, send me whatever your favorite movie clips are. Send those in for the review part of the show.
He died.
He died back in the early 2000s, I think. Am I wrong? Am I right about it? Why are you looking that up? We also got one that came in from the Blue Exorcist 8731. Crank, when Chev Chelios, played by Jason Statham, takes the epinephrine and just goes all out. Basically, the entire movie was crazy.
He died in 1994.
94?
Yes.
Dang.
I was like, wait a minute. When did that movie come out? It came out in 93, and he died a year later.
I remember watching him in Street Fighter. I didn't know he died in the mid-90s. I thought he died in 2000. Damn, I'm getting old. But
Oh, here's Cheeto.
It's just laundry would just
Or he's
fold
gonna-
itself.
oh, he's fine. He ain't gonna knock anything over. Yeah, you will. All right. Let's see if I got it.
No,
I can't show the whole thing. Yeah, keep sending me. I was trying to remember what I was gonna have my own submission in it, but I didn't think of any. I thought of a scene from a TV show. I was talking about it all damn day, and I forgot what I was gonna bring up. Well, I forgot. I don't know. That was you guys' submission. But let's go into get closer to the main topic. We just recently saw No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. It's a comedy about a young man that's going to college. He's a very quiet introvert, very introverted person that never leaves the house. And his parents, before he goes to Princeton, hires a person to get him out of his shell. What do they say in the trailer? To date him hard. So we just watched it. We literally just walked out of the theater to watch it, babe. What did you think about? I'll let you start it off because I know you enjoyed it.
I mean, it's very typical feel good. You know, it has. You can figure out what's going to happen and how it's going to end. Like it's got that typical regular that storyline that always goes down, but it's very funny and very cute.
I thought about that same thing while we were watching. It's like it's always one of those typical movies where it's like, they get together under messed up circumstances. You hire somebody to be cool and go to high school, and then they find out that, oh, you're really a geek, and the only reason why she's dating you is because, friends, you lost a bet. Yeah, can't buy me love and all kinds of stuff like that. And then when he or she finds out, and then he realizes, oh no, he has a heart of gold and stuff. I was thinking about, and I was like, I was expecting this movie because we got our Oscar winner Jennifer Lawrence, and I'm thinking this movie was gonna crack me up, but I'm not gonna lie, the funniest moments were in the trailer.
I laughed a lot all the way up to about midpoint because of course once it got found out,
yeah,
then the rest of it is.
It was just
a
typical
resolution, and there's not a lot of funny stuff in that resolution.
This movie, the script, the way they wrote it, was exactly like that cookie cutter type of that romance comedy kind of a thing. I mean, it wasn't really a romance because they weren't gonna ever really get together. Like this coming of age type of a thing. I was like, this movie would have been. This script must have been written in like the early 2000s or the late 90s or something. This movie would have fit in like years ago.
But if sometimes like if you need an easy watch, and just want a nice, fun, feel good movie, something where you don't have to think too much, something that's not draining. It's a good movie. It's a nice movie for that.
But I mean, but again, it's one of those movies where it was like, I mean, I'm not gonna say I was bored, but I'll say there was a scene. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but there was a scene where it was obviously like supposed to be like a major shocking like scene. Like you would never expect Jennifer Lawrence, especially at this point of her career, to do what she did, because she went all out with this one. But even though I'm seeing what I'm seeing, most guys would be like, "Oh wow, you're gonna love what you see." But even that was like, it wasn't like this was supposed to be the most shocking thing in the film, and it didn't impress me. I mean, it'll impress a lot of guys because I mean, you've seen like when you see full body. You just didn't expect that from Lawrence.
Because we've been spoiled on things like The Boys, where they shrink down and walk inside of a penis.
It's not that. I'm not saying that I wanted them to show me more and to like go out and like. I wasn't trying to see her do like any Pornhub stuff. I was just like, I mean, it's not like this. I'm saying that if this movie was NC-17, it'd be better. And I'm not saying that at all. It's just that it wasn't funny. that part. The funniest things everything that I really laughed at the most was the stuff they put in the trailer. And you can watch. I don't know if you watched the trailer. Yeah, that was mostly all and I was getting mad. I'm like, really? There was some nice moments. There was, like you say, cute moments and stuff like that here and there. But the funniest stuff was the stuff that they showed in the trailer. So I was expecting this to be that's why I was like, in the middle of the movie, I'm like, I can't wait to see Joyride. Because I'm hearing that movie is hilarious.
Definitely ready for
I was expecting No Hard Feelings to give this a run for its money. Now when it shifted and got darker, and you're getting Jennifer Lawrence to stretch those dramatic chops. Like when they got now the boy, he was funny. His awkwardness was really funny. But I was expecting like this to be that, when Tom Cruise got into the fat suit, he played that character on Tropic Thunder, that agent, and he started dancing to Ludacris' song. Like, I was expecting to be shocked like that by Jennifer Lawrence. But I was just like, it was just an okay movie. This would have been a movie that would have been amazing to watch, like in Jennifer Lawrence. You would expect this type of a film in Jennifer Lawrence's early career, before X-Men, before she was in The Hunger Game. Like, if this would have been one of those movies, like right after The Hunger Game or right before The Hunger Game, like that part of her career, I wouldn't have expected her to do this. And that was part of the reason why I was interested in seeing her. I was like, she got an Oscar. She's really doing all this. It was funny. It was crazy. But it didn't, I don't know. I'm going to say miscast. Am I wrong? What do you think? I think she did a good job. She's a great actress. She did a good job, but I think this would have been funnier if a person had more experience with comedy than she does. I don't know. What do you?
I don't think so. I think it's just the story, because it had the typical it went the typical route.
Yeah.
So, which is not, I mean.
I was expecting a shocker of an ending or something crazy. But yeah, it played in the end, as shocking as it kind of was, it still kind of played it safe with the whole script. I don't know. But they all leads us to the overall question, like what the parents did. Really, Cheeto, you going to chew on a microphone? Oh, you got to shoo him away from that. Like, let me see if I can't show you what he's doing. All right. Anyway, so the question is it? I made this the question that you guys voted on. Is it okay for parents to pay a sex worker to take their adult son's virginity? Not just you know what? Let's leave it to I don't know. It'd be weird if I was saying that for a daughter. Mostly, if anything like this is going to happen, you're going to hear about this for a son. Mostly, that's my opinion. I know that everybody wants to be equal opportunity, but I'm sure that if this story comes up a lot in real life, it's mostly going to be for an introverted son. I wouldn't think a parent is going to pay a sex worker for their introverted daughter. It's mostly going to be for a son. So I looked this up, and I found a story similar to this. Let me see if I can go full mass here. No, is that it? I'll put it here. Here we go. Is it? It's gonna show it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oops, tell his dad he is a virgin. His dad hires an escort for him. I found this story. It's kind of long.
I can read it.
You want to go for it?
I can see it.
All right, go for it, baby.
A few days ago, I decided to visit my dad at his house. It was his birthday. I showed up with wine. We got a little drunk, maybe more than a little. When my dad was done going on and on and on about how much he missed my mom since she divorced him, he changed the subject and focused on my love life. He asked if I had a girlfriend, and I said no. Then he asked if I'd ever had a girlfriend because he's never seen me with a girl. I said never. My dad poured the last drop of wine in my glass and asked if I was still a virgin. I was tempted to lie, but I paused too long, so I said yes. My dad said I had no reason to feel ashamed about my virginity, but encouraged me to have as much sex as possible before I end up married to a person whose vagina whose vagina comes with an impenetrable encryption. I ignored the obvious reference to my mom's you-know-what, and I called it a night. I asked my dad if I was allowed to sleep in the spare bedroom because I didn't want to drive home drunk. My dad said I was more than welcome. I must have been sleeping for less than an hour when I woke up to the sound of my dad knocking on the door. I don't remember what I mumbled as I opened my eyes, but the moment my dad heard my voice, he entered my room with another person. It was a girl. My dad introduced her by name, but did the air quote things with his fingers to imply that it was a fake name. I could tell my dad was still drunk. Exhibit A, he continued making the air quote gesture even when it was no longer necessary. Not gonna lie, I was still drunk too, but not drunk enough to disregard the weird fucking shit that was happening. Without giving me proper time to react, my dad quickly said the girl knew exactly what to do before closing the door on his way out. The girl did not know what to do. She did nothing other than awkwardly waiting for me to say something. I eventually asked her what was going on, and she said my dad hired her to sleep with me. I died of embarrassment, especially when the girl asked me to explain if I was in on the zero experience or the some experience or of the virgin spectrum. Without thinking, I said I was gay. It was the first time I actually said it out loud. The girl sat down on the bed and asked if I was a top or a bottom.
Oh, God.
I shrugged and said, I don't know yet. My face must have been so red at that moment. The girl said if I was willing to go shower, then she would be basically willing to motorboat my butt. To be honest, I considered it. I'm human. I'm horny. However, the situation was just way too weird for me to be completely comfortable doing something that sexual with someone I didn't know at all. I said thank you, but no thank you to the girl and apologized for my dad putting us both in that awkward position. She said she understood and for some reason thought it was necessary to mention that my dad was one of the regular customers. She made it clear for the record that she never had sex with my dad, but explained that some of her older co-workers at the escort service really enjoyed spending time with him. She said she can't wait to tell the other sex workers that she met me because apparently my dad loves to talk about his son with the people he pays to fuck. I was not psychologically prepared for the unexpected discussion regarding my dad's sex life. The girl had a severe case of motor mouth. When she finally stopped talking, I learned that my dad sleeps with sex workers who kind of look like my mom, and that women closing their eyes with too much food in their mouth and saying, turns him on. The girl apologized for abusing my good listening skills and asked if there was nothing she could do for me. I said she could keep my sexuality between the two of us. She said her lips were sealed until the time comes to suck cock.
I don't believe this story.
My dad was passed out in the living room when we approached the front door. I went back to bed when the girl was gone and eventually fell asleep. The following morning, I confronted my dad. I said I didn't appreciate what he did and made sure he understood that he wasted his money because nothing happened. My dad was apologetic and promised never to cross that line again no matter how much alcohol is involved. Despite his apology, the mood was still somewhat tense. I decided to break the tension by closing my eyes and saying, while eating breakfast. The look on my dad's face was priceless. I lost my appetite soon afterwards because I instantly regretted doing something that might arouse my father. TLDR.
I forgot what that stands for.
Told my dad I was still a virgin, and his response
Too
was,
long didn't read. This is the short version. Too long didn't read. Yeah. Told my dad. Yeah. So that's the short. That's the short version of it. Expected to work. Original post. The inevitable happened. The sex worker my dad hired to terminate my virginity. Is this a repeat of the same thing?
But she did not keep her mouth shut. I know. I should have seen it coming. When I shared my original post, I was convinced my dad didn't know I was gay. I never said anything to anyone about my sexuality other than to the sex worker who teamed up with my father unexpectedly put me in a vulnerable position. My dad and I have been avoiding each other since that night. Not gonna lie, I was okay with that. We needed the space. The words divorced dad, virgin son, and sex worker should never be said in the same sentence. This morning, my dad showed up at my apartment. Unusual, but not surprising. He was courteous enough to call beforehand, asked if I was available, said he wanted to talk. I assumed he was still feeling bad about ambushing me with a sex worker and wanted to make sure that our relationship was intact. Little did I know that my dad's primary objective was to establish if his 20-year-old son was sexually attracted to other people's 20-year-old sons. As soon as my dad made himself at home in my living room, he asked if we were alone. I said my roommate was at the gym. My dad's response was to drop the following line. Sharing an apartment with a guy who works out must be motivating. Slow clap, subtle as fuck, my father. He didn't even need to wink at the camera. My dad asked if my roommate had a girlfriend. I implied that he had girls that come and go. My dad said my roommate must be handsome to get so much attention. I shrugged and said, or he's paying for it. It was a joke. An uncomfortable joke based on my dad's disturbed expression. My dad said he could explain the sex workers and answer all my questions if I was prepared to listen. I said it was none of my business, and he didn't owe me an explanation, but I did suggest that he at least considered therapy. My dad said he was proud of the person I'd become and promised to think about my suggestion. As wholesome as that moment was, the gay elephant was still in the room. So I awkwardly asked my dad if he recently communicated with the sex worker he hired to sleep with me. My dad said no, because he wanted to respect my privacy and avoid crossing the line again. Based on all the random references to my roommate's attractiveness, I was convinced my dad heard I was gay from one of the other sex workers, who heard it from the sex worker with the motor mouth. We danced around the topic of my sexuality for a little longer because it was still a big moment despite all the weird shit that happened the last time my dad and I were under the same roof. I eventually came out and said, Dad, I'm gay. My dad stood up and showed me he was wearing socks with rainbow stripes to celebrate the news. I didn't even notice the socks until he lifted the leg opening of his pants. He said it was a gift from the sex workers. He had another pair of rainbow socks in his pocket, which he gave to me when we were done hugging. I suppose the outcome could have been worse. I doubt there will be another update, so thank you for riding this wave with me.
Yeah, so that was nowhere near the extent that Ferris Bueller, that's what I said. That was the guy who played the dad in the movie that we saw. It was mostly just the parents were just worried about their son.
Because they said he had no friends. He never left his room.
They were just worried about him.
He never went out anywhere. He never did anything but just be in his room.
Yeah.
And, so
and he explained why, but I won't reveal that. He was going to
be going states and states and states away.
Yeah. And they were,
and
they knew, but the parents knew that they helicoptered his ass too much. Yeah. They were helicopter parents, and they knew that they did him a disservice with that. So when I'm gonna keep calling him Ferris Bueller, when his dad has said that I was exactly the same way, but because a woman that I met right before college gave me excited, and he went into details.
When Barbara showed me, she was like,
his wife was like, no, that's enough. Oh yeah, she was very. You just went into the too much details. It was a funny moment. That was one of the funniest moments. The parents were outside of the trailer. The parents were the funniest things that.
I'm changing my phone code. What is it?
Yeah, they were the definition of helicopter parents. Now this Reddit story was that's a story of a dad who's obviously divorced for a reason. It's just now he can't deal with it.
Those are those parents or just people in general who feel like the things they do are good and can't see that they're just really wrong.
You're breaking the boy even more.
Like your intentions may have sounded really good in your head. But they're not.
Let me. It's the fact that the boy was all like, even though he's gay, he was like, I'm horny. I considered her to motorboat my butt for. What time is it? He was like, you know what? It's the middle of the afternoon. We can knock that out. I don't know. On another topic, I have a question to ask you after the show, babe. Anyway. No. All right, before I get into this, let's look at what you guys said as far as this topic.
Most everything is still, no one's commented anything since the beginning. We were talking about the Titanic.
You guys have checked out? Okay. I mean, That's. I mean, it was an odd show. We started late. I threw the show together at the last minute. I closed the poll. Let's see what you guys. At least let me see what you guys have said about the topic. Where did the poll land? If it'll show me. Damn, that's the one thing that I still haven't.
Let's see if it
can show you. I got it. I said, is it okay for parents to pay for a sex worker to take their adult son's virginity? 40% of you said yes. 40%.
Like,
that was higher than I thought it would
it.
be. 60% of y'all are like, no. I made sure I kept it on. I knew that if I would have included daughters or something like that, it would throw everything off. Mostly in this scenario, I feel like mostly it would be a son. If anybody's ever, I hope I never bump into a Reddit story where a parent, it would probably be a mom.
No, even the other, like, is it Failure to Launch?
Yeah.
With Matthew McConaughey, where they pay Sarah Jessica Parker to. I mean, he's not a virgin. He's had a lot of girlfriends.
He's just
but
not
they
leaving
pay
the nest.
her to
help him get out of the
yeah,
nest. To leave the nest. He's like
be in a super relationship and get him to move out.
Yeah. I remember that movie.
Because he needs his naked room, the dad.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I need my naked room. Can't do that when he's here.
Yeah. When you get our age, we need our naked room. Speaking of which, I don't know, guys. This was I know this was a weird and I get awkward episode. Like I said, I threw it together last minute. We wanted to see the movie. Tabatha checked out the last second, so thanks, Tab. No, I'm saying she had to work. Sorry about that. But that's the review. I mean, like I said, the movie was just okay. It's not. I don't see it really even breaking the top 5.
No, probably not.
I don't see it breaking the top 5.
there was quite a few people in there.
But nobody was really laughing that much. I'm telling you, the majority of the jokes that we saw that people were still laughing at were jokes that we saw already.
I saw people buying Spider-Man tickets.
On the what? In the middle of the movie?
When we were checking in. No, when we were getting checked in.
I'm like they left them in the middle of the movie to go buy Spider-Man tickets.
No, when we were checking in.
I don't know, man. I don't think this movie is going to break the top 5 at all. Let me run down real quick. Peter Lang saying salutations for the We Got Your Mail portion of the show. I gotta stay on task. Nick's LOL. Oh, he'll
Nix
be
and
back.
I were talking about Cheeto Cat.
Oh yeah. There we go. There's a joke in there somewhere. I forgot what we were talking about there.
No, it was about the cat.
Oh.
Peter
okay.
felt like there was some underlying joke about Cheeto, about the cat.
Okay. Let's see. Moving down. Tonight I'll have we were asking him if he was going to join the Zoom. So maybe next week we'll do that. Okay. We'll patch you in. Forever calling Peter Zoom.
Because he said that was his nickname in high school.
Oh, okay.
Zoom.
Nixon, I'll be very happy about that. Peter Zoom. That's the new name. I don't want to be intensive, but why the hell would you take a new, barely tested vehicle to visit the Titanic? Yeah. I mean, was it barely tested? If anything, they were using it too much and probably not just keeping up with the maintenance of it.
It didn't have any certifications or approvals or test. I mean, like, it's just this dude. It's not like when you say, oh, you know, your car goes through crash tests and before we ever sell it, so we know that the dummies, the fake people in the car, this is what happens when the car crashes. They don't have those kind of backups. They just are like, we got in it.
Say it'd be funny if Peter Lang says it would be funny if it would hit another iceberg. Like what icebergs? Like what icebergs? There's all the global warming. Ain't nothing. Ain't no icebergs out there anymore.
That was the name of the hunting movie, The Most Dangerous Game, that I was talking about.
I thought you were talking about The Hunt.
I don't know what movie I was talking about. I mean, I don't know the name of it because I didn't watch it. I just remember when it came out, I was like, that's bizarre.
There was a movie called The Hunt where Hilary Swank and all her liberal friends were hunting all these conservative dudes, and then at the end of it, what's her name from Nurse Jackie, the blonde, the I forgot her name, but I saw that movie in the theaters. It was right at when the beginning of the pandemic or the end of the pandemic. I can't remember which one, but I enjoyed that movie. That was fun. I had a lot of fun. The Hunt. It was mostly like shock comedy type film, but it was a good movie. But no, I'd never seen The Most Dangerous Game.
The one that I'm talking about was not a comedy. It was a horror thriller action.
Oh, you mean
movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Running Man?
No.
You remember that movie?
Yeah, but that is not what I'm talking about.
I'll be back. Yeah, that was the movie, man. All right, we're gonna call it. Like I said, it's been an hour, guys. Like I said, we just came back from the theater, and I just threw the show together. Sorry that we couldn't get a full grasp on the show tonight. I'm kind of lackluster. I promise I'll do better and make sure that Tabatha doesn't break the contract anymore. Don't worry, we'll get her in court and we'll make sure she's back on the rundown next week. But I'll be back tomorrow to finish off some of for the week and talk with you guys tomorrow afternoon. So share your thoughts, your comments, your questions, concerns, any of your theories, anything that you guys want to hear us talk about. And we'll share that on the show tomorrow. I'll be out of here. Till then, doing some light editing, or maybe I'll go on and play some Call of Duty. I don't know. You can hit me up at Chris W. Fagan or at T3 Medias, or you can call the number. I think it's 281-406-1993. I think, is that correct? Am I right about that? Is it 406-1993? If you want to leave us a voicemail, it would be in the description. It would be, you're still in the live chat. You got to, is it 281? All right, what is the call in? If people want to call in.
406-1993.
I was right. Like I'm always. 281-406-1993. You can call in and leave a voicemail anytime you want to do that, guys. Baby, if they want to get a scrub hat or more by Joy, where can they do that?
My TikTok is Viola Fagan, and my Instagram is Scrub Hats and More by Joy.
That's right. And when is our OnlyFans coming out?
No.
No. Oh, okay. All right. We'll talk.